Hello, grade 9s. How are you today? Welcome back to another lesson. Are you fine? Grade 9s, are you well today? Okay, okay, Tando, that's good. JD, others? Max, hello. Mukabetse, hi. Kinke, hello. Cleo, hello. Amy, hi, hello. How are you? Okay, so we are continuing with our topic of development that we started yesterday. Do you still remember what we did yesterday? What did we cover yesterday? What did you learn yesterday? Before we move on. Don't tell me you already forgot. Have you forgotten already? From Max, Eben. What about Eben? Okay, Amy, social economic aspects of development, that's good. From Max, Roland, okay. Tando, development, what about development? Yes, we looked at development, but just give me the details, further details. Money, okay. What else? People, the aspects of development, okay, Tando. Sustainability, yes, that's very good, Amy. We looked at sustainability. Any other answers? Okay, so let's move on to today's work. Okay, so we just want to quickly recap on yesterday's lesson. What did we do yesterday? We looked at development issues. So we looked at the meaning of development. We also looked at economic aspects and also social aspects. That's what we did yesterday. Remember, we said development differs from one person to another, the way they see development. But the most important thing that it has to be sustainable development. That's the most important thing. Let's revise the homework that I gave you. I hope you did your homework. Make sure you do your homework because most of the questions that I give you for the homework, they are the type of questions that will come in the exam. Do you understand, grade 9? So it's not just for fun that I'm giving you homework. The questions are related to the ones that usually come in the grade 9 exam papers. So you have to do your homework as much as possible. Let's start with question 1. Explain the meaning of sustainable development. Explain the meaning of sustainable development. Which answers did you come up with? Explain the meaning of sustainable development. So this is the development that meets the needs of the present without affecting the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. From Amy, universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. Oh, that's very good. King K, it is economic development that is done without wasting natural resources. King K, you were supposed to give the meaning of sustainable development, not economic. Because if you're talking of economic development, it's a one aspect. Remember, there are two other aspects. So on sustainable development, we're combining the three: social, economic, and environmental. And then from Onkabetse, economic development that is conducted without depletion of natural resources. No, that one is incorrect, Onkabetse. Next. Next, may you please focus on what we're doing, please? No private chats during the lesson. Okay. Okay, so just correct your work there. Okay. Question 2. Do we have 2 maxes in the class? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Question 2. Discuss how social development in a country can be improved. Discuss improved. Which answers did you come up with? Let me see your answers. Discuss how social development in a country can be improved. Which answers did you come up with, grade 9s? Okay, so just correct your work. The answers are the following: provision of education, improving skills training, Amy, improvement in the conditions and quality of life of the population, greater levels of wealth, technological advancement, and public policies permit people to live better, to consume more, to feed themselves better, and to get sick less frequently. Oh, that's very good. That's a very good answer. Thank you, Amy. Others, which answers did you get? Any more answers? Onkabetse, create a regulatory and legal regime that promotes domestic and foreign investment so that private capital can be exploited. Okay, where did you get that answer, Okabete? Did you Google? Okay, I'm waiting for more answers. I used the link. Okay, all right, Okabete. I'm waiting for others. I don't see your answers. I don't think you did your homework, others, of which it is not good. Okay, so those are the answers. Make sure you're correcting your work. Question 3, identify the relationship between economic and social development. Okay, from King K, improve education so that the youth will be able to develop faster and improve the country. That's very good. And for question 3, identify the relationship between economic and social development. Which answer did you come up with? What is the relationship between economic and social development? Amy, improvement in the standard of living of a population. A second approach, while recognizing that the economy constitutes a powerful factor in social development, emphasizes wealth distribution. That's a more detailed answer. That's very good, Amy. Others? What is the relationship between economic and social development? Okay, so you were supposed to write something related to the answer that I've given. The economy of a country determines the standard of living of people. So you were supposed to write an answer related to that. So the economy determines how people are going to live in a country. If the economy is strong, people will have a good standard of living. If the economy is weak, people won't have a good standard of living. Question 4. Give one example on how South Africa has developed over the years. So you're supposed to mention one example. The way you think South Africa is developed over the years. What happened in South Africa? Which answers did you get? Okay, from Amy, South Africa now has a highly developed economy and advanced infrastructure, one of the world's largest exporters of gold, platinum, and other natural resources. It also has well-established financial, legal, communications, energy, and transport sectors, as well as the continent's largest stock exchange. Wow, your answers are very good. Very good, Amy. And when you write like this in the exam, you can get 4 marks for that because you explain in detail. Keep it up. Onkabetse, democracy. Okay. Others? I can see that Onkabet say Amy did their work. Others, I don't see you. Just a few seconds, maybe they're typing. Give one example on how South Africa is developed over the years. So yesterday I talked about what happened in 2010, the Soccer World Cup. So it brought towards development because many changes were made, developmental changes. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I gave you key terms to research yesterday. Did you research on the key terms? Okay, Max, it's fine. Did you research on the terms that I gave you yesterday? Let's start with carrying capacity. What is carrying capacity? Which answer did you come up with? What is carrying capacity? You didn't research on those terms, did you? What is carrying capacity? The number of people from Tando, the number of people or things which can be conveyed by a vehicle. Okay, I didn't want that definition. I wanted another one related to environment, but that definition is correct in another context. Amy, size in a particular habitat. The species population size is limited by environmental factors like adequate food, shelter, water. That's good. Onkabetse. you can Onkabetse, you want to see the chat. I think so, King K. Yes. Okay. Carrying capacity. I'm waiting for your answers. It's only Amy who answered. Okay, let's move on. And then the second term was ecological footprint. This is the quantity of nature it takes to support people. Okay, so I didn't define carrying capacity is the number of people which a region can support without environmental degradation. That is carrying capacity. The number of people which a region can support without environmental degradation. Okay, from Amy, for ecological footprint, the impact of a person or community on the environment, expressed as the amount of land required to sustain their use of natural resources. That's very good. Amy, I can see you did your homework. Keep it up. So ecological footprint, it is the quantity of nature it takes to support people. And then we go to global warming. What is global warming? We always hear this on the news. Global warming, global warming. What is it? I can't pronounce. Tandu, please focus on the lesson. I can't pronounce the name. Is it Amraya? That's why I'm just saying Amy. Global warming, rise of the average temperature of the Earth's climate. Oh, that's very good. That is global warming, a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. And then we go to deforestation. What is deforestation? The permanent removal of trees. And then degradation, cutting of trees, that's good, Max. Degradation, so this degradation is related to the environment because there are other meanings in different contexts. So in this context, we are talking about the environment. Environmental degradation simply means reduction or destruction. When you're destroying the environment, it's called environmental degradation. Okay, so those are the terms that you're supposed to research. Let's move on. So today's topic, we're going to focus on environmental aspects of development. Remember, yesterday we looked at two other aspects, economic and social. So today we're focusing on the environment, our planet Earth. How does it affect development? How is it related to development? Okay, so why is this environment that we live on very important? The environmental resources are important to support development. They should be preserved. Why should they be preserved? For what? So that the future generation can also have the same environment that we have now, the same resources that we have now. Imagine if we cut off trees, all the trees in the world, deforestation. What will happen to the future generation? How are they going to suffer without trees? Imagine deforestation. How is it going to affect the future generation? Can they survive without trees? Can they survive without trees? So just think about it. Development should also consider environmental issues such as air pollution, global warming, and water quality. So on the environmental aspect of development, we should consider air pollution, global warming, and the quality of our water. So we have to stop water pollution also on that aspect. So that's what we mean by what? Preserving, sustaining our environment for future generations. Sustainable practices should be put in place. Which practices can we use to sustain the environment? Like reusing waste paper, recycling, limiting water pollution, finding ways to limit air pollution, and things like that. And then we can sustain our environment. So that is the importance of environmental aspects for development. And then we look at carrying capacity effect on the environment. Earth has only enough natural resources to sustain certain population size to live. So the natural resources that are on Earth, they are enough for a certain number of people. So if the population also increases, too many people in the world, it won't balance with the natural resources that are there. Scientists, through their research, they found out that by 2050, natural resources will be fewer than they are now. Imagine in 2050. So it means the generation in 2050, they will suffer because the natural resources will be less. Because right now there's water pollution, countries are polluting air, the factories, the industries, leading to global warming. So temperatures also, they are going to change in more years to come. If population increases, the demands for natural resources also increase. Therefore, Earth will have lack of enough resources to keep humans alive. So that's why we have to learn about carrying capacity. So each country in the world, that's why they take what is called census, finding out the number of people in a country, counting people. But why do they do that? So those numbers, they send them to United Nations, and then they can know the carrying capacity of the world and compare that to natural resources that we have. So by having enough resources, humans can also live without any problems. But if the population increases, it won't balance with the natural resources. So that is carrying capacity. Ecological footprint, this is the measurement of our demand of natural resources compared with what the Earth can provide. Research has shown that people use more natural resources than the planet can provide. So that is ecological footprint. For example, there's a certain area, they just call this area X. So this area X, it is supposed to have a carrying capacity of 500 people, because the natural resources in that area can sustain those 500 people. But now the population for that area X is increasing every year. And maybe after 2 years, the population is 800 in that area. It means the natural resources in that area, they won't be enough because there are more people now, 800. It only needs 500 people. So that is the ecological footprint. So it is the measurement of our demand of natural resources compared with what Earth can provide. Examples that I have mentioned: deforestation, water pollution, air pollution, and soil erosion. All of these things, they affect the ecological footprint. And then for today, the lesson was short because we're only focusing on environmental aspect. I want you to research on these 4 terms. Number 1, birth rate. Number 2, death rate. Number 3, population growth rate. Number 4, population pyramids. So research on those terms. Find out their meaning. What do they mean? Okay, I'm going to share the homework. This is your homework. Environmental aspects of development. Question number 1, explain the relationship between the environment and development. Number 2, discuss how the following affects the environment. A, carrying capacity. B, ecological footprint. And make sure when you're answering as part of homework, give the answers that you can remember in the exam. So try to write in your own words as much as possible. Try to write in your own words the way you understand. Even if you're Googling an answer, don't just copy from the internet. Read the answer first and then try to understand it, and then you write it in your own words, the way you understand it. So that is another tip for answering questions. Because if you just copy from the internet, some answers are complicated. The terminology that is used is difficult. So those are the two questions, sorry, that you are doing for homework. Just a few minutes. And then we'll end the lesson. So if you're writing down the questions, you can do that. Are you done? It's homework. Yes, Max, it's homework. Are you done? Grade 9? Others, are you done? Okay. Okay, grade 9. It was nice having you today again. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Do your homework, do proper research. Take care, be safe, keep warm. Bye. Tomorrow, same time. Sharp, sharp.